Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Iowa Speedway for round number 23 of the P2 Cup Racing League. We have 9 competitors ready to take to this 2.88 mile track. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at our weather today, as the weather will be very important at this half mile track. We have a temperature of 71 degrees with a track temperature of 85 degrees. It is overcast today, and we do have a wind at 14 miles per hour to the west with a humidity of 95%. And let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup for this 175 lap race right here in Newton, Iowa. On row number 1, you have Charlie Hunter and Rob Franklin. Row number 2, you have Jake Little in the number 98 machine with Ryan Purrington in the 34 machine. Row number 3, you have Charles Keller Jr. in the number 77, and to his outside, you have William Brown in that number 33 machine. Row number 4, you have Ryan Graves in that number 30 machine. Jack Andrews back in that number 8 spot in his number 20 Red Bull machine. And rounding out your field will be Clinton Funk in that number 88 machine. We got the 1 to go signal this time by, so that means we are about to go racing right here on P2 TV, powered by iRacing. I am Mike Taylor, your broadcaster for the day, and this track runs like an intermediate track, even though it is classified as a short track. So expect these 9 drivers to be racing very, very close as our pace car gets ready to pull down onto pit road. And it is now all in the hands of Barney the flagman as the field takes the green. And we are racing here at Iowa Speedway for round number 23 of the B2 Cup Series, and we already have issues back in the back with the number 34. Dylan Purrington. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened just here on that very first lap. As you see Jake Little going back up to claim his spot. And as you see the field take the green flag here, we are watching the number 34 of Dylan Purrington in that Pocono Mountains Toyota. They just attempted to go three wide, and then he just lost it on these cold tires, and he backed it hard into the outside wall. That is definitely not the way these drivers wanted to start this event. William Brown in that number 33 and Dylan Purrington in the number 34 are both down on pit road. As we come back up here and take a look here at Charlie Hunter in that number 50 WNBA Toyota Camry. Charlie Hunter, he is looking to make a statement here today. He was fast in qualifying, he was fast in practice, so now all he has to do is work it all out and make sure he is up top when we get the checkered flag in just a little bit over 172 laps. And the drivers will now get that two to go signal from our flagman. So they are going to come back around and figure out who's going to go where as they come to the choose rule area of the track. And this is going to be very interesting to see as The high side, it can be fast on exit as you hold more momentum, but that shorter way around on the inside can also propel you in front of the car you are racing. So it's going to be very interesting here to see where Charlie Hunter decides to put his machine here for the first restart. Unless... And here is your choose rule. He does decide to go to the outside, and so that is going to bring the number 4 of Rob Franklin to his inside. That is definitely a very interesting call, and with my knowledge about this racetrack, that is probably going to be the best call for all of these restarts here. Your current points leader, Rob Franklin, he is going to start down on the inside of row number 1, currently in P2, as it is now in the hands of Charlie Hunter, and we are green flag racing once again here at Iowa. Charlie Hunter got a really good jump on Rob Franklin that time, but all the action is back with that number 20 of Jack Andrews and that Red Bull machine as these cars begin to get single file, as you see Jack Andrews dive to the inside of that number 77 machine of Charles Keller Jr. in that Depends X-Lax machine. And they do continue to run side by side here, and Jack Andrews will clear Keller, and here comes the 33 of William Brown trying to get onto the inside of Keller now, and Keller will close the door on him, and they will now run single file. Let's come back up here to the front with Charlie Hunter and Rob Franklin, as Rob Franklin is starting to put a lot of pressure on the back end of that number 50 machine. How patient will Rob Franklin be here early in the race as they dive down into turn number 1 once again? Who is going to save the most tires? I think that is going to ultimately determine the winner of this race, because you don't want to waste too much tires racing hard. So maybe these guys in a little bit further back are taking it more easy so that they have those tires for a long run here at Iowa. Things currently are settled down as we continue to watch the race battle here on the front straightaway as they dive down into turn 1 once again. The number 50 and the number 4 still just about the same distance as they were about 4 laps ago, but Rob Franklin slips up just a little bit there out of turn number 4, but he is able to keep it going. We do have a small battle brewing back here between Ryan Graves and the 30 machine and Jake Little. Jake Little in that GM-sponsored Chevrolet finally got around Ryan Graves, and he sets his eyes on William Brown in that number 30, that number 33 Ford Mustang. Will Brown out of Melbourne in that Hydrographics Ford Mustang, keeping it right in front of Jake Little for that number 5 spot. But here comes Jake Little applying a little bit of pressure here as they come out of turn number 2. These drivers are now currently single file as they come sweeping around turns 3 and 4. Things are settled down all around this racetrack with 160 laps remaining this next time by. All of these drivers just are going to abide their time as they tick these laps down. With there being so little competitors here today, there's no reason technically why they should be racing extremely hard already while they sit here and only work lap number 16 of this event. Let's come back up here and catch up with our race leaders. Charlie Hunter working it hard to keep the points leader Rob Franklin in the number 4 John Deere machine behind him. This can turn out to be a very good points day for a lot of these drivers. Charlie Hunter, he is only 8 points back behind Rob Franklin. And then Jack Andrews is back there in that 3rd spot, 194 points out from the race, or from the points. So Charlie Hunter versus Rob Franklin, that's what it looks like it's probably going to boil down to, unless we see Jack Andrews continue to be as dominant as he has been, win these races, win these stages to get these bonus points, as you continue to see Charlie Hunter and Rob Franklin run it nose to tail. But Rob Franklin now is trying to put a little bit of pressure on Charlie Hunter here as they dive down into turn 1 once again. Hunter doesn't want to really use too much of his equipment trying to hold off Rob Franklin, as you see Franklin have radio connection issues once again. His team is now looking into his radio connection. He's not having good communication between himself and his crew chief down on pit road. And for the time being, he lays off of the back bumper of Hunter until they can get that sorted out. But don't blink, because here in due time, I think we will see Rob Franklin right back to that rear bumper of your race leader of Charlie Hunter. As we come back here and take a look at Jack Andrews in that number 20 Red Bull machine, fighting the number 77 of Charles Keller for that 3rd spot, as these competitors now dive down into turn number 1 and 2. This here is your race battle for 3rd between Jack Andrews, Charles Keller, and William Brown. These guys are racing nice and steady, but racing hard. They're not letting each other get out of each other's sights, as Keller now starts to apply a little bit of pressure to the back end of Andrews in that Red Bull machine. As we take a look back here at the number 4 and the number 50 here, once again your race lead. It looks like for the moment Franklin's radio issues have been solved, because just like that, he's right back on the back bumper of Charlie Hunter, and that just shows what kind of power is under the hood of that number 4 John Deere Chevrolet, as he's trying to apply a lot of pressure now to that number 50 machine of Charlie Hunter. As here they come, sweeping through 1 and 2. It looks like Hunter just gets a little bit better of a run out of these corners than Franklin, where Franklin is able to get right on towards the back bumper of Hunter on the entrance, but Hunter is able to just pull away on the straightaway. And so right now I believe that they are evenly matched. Their last lap times were only separated by 2 1,000ths of a second. And these competitors, yeah, their lap times are just about dead even. And so it is going to be very tight, as Rob Franklin there, he tries to get a little bit more out of the corner that time. He slipped up just a little bit, and so that was and so that did allow him to lose a little bit of time on Hunter. But here he comes once again out of the corner. I think he's starting to figure something out, because he is starting not to let that gap between the two dissipate like they were the last 10 laps of this race, as they are working lap 32. These are the two closest in battle for the moment, as they run through 3 and 4, coming back to the D-shaped oval. As we fall back, oh, here we are. Franklin is not giving up, and he is not letting an inch go by without staying right on that back bumper of Franklin. And these two drivers are still once again just a couple hundredths of a second off of each other, as we did have a pass for the 7th spot. Graves in the number 30 passed Funk in the number 88 machine. And it looks like this battle is starting to heat up, and it looks like the 4 of Rob Franklin is starting to think about trying to make a pass here. As I just want to take a quick mention here of Jake Little in that GM machine. He is just about 2 laps down now, as he came down to get service on his machine a few laps ago. Drivers now dive back down into turns 3 and 4, back out to the front straightaway, across the stripe. This is actually a very good battle happening here at Iowa, as these drivers are coming up on the lap car of Clinton Funk in that number 88 machine. Well, as the 88 goes way high, so he's going to be really slow here on the back straightaway, and he gives the race leaders plenty of room, as we have one car diving down onto pit road, and that will be Ryan Graves in that number 30 Toyota. We are counting down the times They are just about 39 laps in the book. And I think these guys are probably going to start thinking fuel strategy at this point, as we've had only one caution since the start of this race, and that was only back on lap number 1. As Ryan Graves has come down pit road and left. So he came down to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and some Sunoco race fuel. Charlie Hunter in that number 50 WNBA machine has slightly pulled out to just a 0.4 second lead over Rob Franklin. I think Franklin is just now going to bide his time. And just remember, there is still plenty of racing left here at Iowa, as we are coming up on 133 laps remaining in this event. We are going to see what the difference between tires will do here at Iowa, as it shows Ryan Graves in that number 30 Toyota is now 2 laps down after making his pit stop. So that just gives you a general idea, and we're going to find out how long, or if he can even catch up with our race leaders, and we will see if that can make a change on how these drivers will perceive on their tire strategy. I know that your tire wear is a major thought on your brain here at Iowa Speedway. But with this new pavement in the corners of this track, it kind of makes it easier to manage your tires in the corner. However, you are still hurting those tires getting down to the new pavement, as you see them ride that new pavement out of turn number 2 and back down into turn number 3. Just this old pavement will tear up your tires in a hurry. So it is very important that you try to not turn very long on that old pavement. As Franklin now starts to reel the number 50 of Charlie Hunter back in here as they dive down into turn number 1 once again. I'm sorry, turn 3. Now they're going down to turn number 1. I think I got ahead of myself there. Rob Franklin right back on the back bumper of your race leader. Both of these drivers first and second in points, so they need to win to stay on top of the point standings. And so the question's going to be, which one of these drivers will be on top, and how will these bonus points for the stages affect where they will end up in the points lead? I know that Rob Franklin got on top of the lead. That was him. Yeah, Rob Franklin did take over that points lead from Charlie Hunter just a couple weeks ago. So Charlie Hunter, he is looking for a race win here, as Clinton Funk makes his way down onto pit road to get 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco race fuel in his machine. As you see the race leaders here come out of turn number 2. Charlie Hunter needs to win this to keep gaining more points. Every point will count for Charlie Hunter and Rob Franklin. if Rob wants to stay on top of the points, he's probably going to have to win this race. And as of right now, Charlie Hunter in that number 50 machine has led all the laps. So he, at this point in time, he will get the bonus points for leading the most laps. As you got a little wiggle out of Rob Franklin there out of turn number 4. As they dive down into the corner once more. These drivers now just tiptoeing their way around this racetrack. Neither one of these drivers are really pushing hard, but it looks like the number 4, Rob Franklin, is able to rotate through the corner a little bit better for the time being over Charlie Hunter. And that could possibly be an issue for the 4 later on in this green flag run. As again, you don't want this track to eat up all your tires. As he gets almost to the bumper of the number 50 machine. As you can see, these two drivers are running two very different, distinctive lines, where Charlie Hunter is riding up just about a half a car length off the white, and Rob Franklin is gluing his car right down to that white line. And I think that is the difference. And we do have a caution. Let's go and see what this caution is for. I think this just might have been a debris caution. We have 119 laps remaining as these drivers come into turn number 3, and they have to slow to allow our pace car driver to come through. Rob Franklin did the right thing and get out of the pace car's way, because our pace car driver, Fred, he does not care. He will just drive right through you. So he did the right thing in getting out of the way of our pace car driver. As you see, our competitors coming down pit road to get service on their machines for the first time, and the second time for a couple of these other drivers. As we watch Rob Franklin and Charlie Hunter both stop in their pits. And Charlie Hunter will bring the field down out of the pits, followed by Rob Franklin, Jack Andrews, Charles Keller, and William Brown to round out the top 5. We are now coming up on lap number 59 of this race. Things have settled down a lot since the start of this race, and I am anticipating it for it to continue to stay this way as we get the 2 to go signal this time by from Barney, our amazing flagman. Field will come out of 4, and they should be choosing at the line on where they are going to restart, and it looks like Charlie Hunter is going to go to the outside, and Rob Franklin will choose the inside. And so that will bring the 77 to the outside, the 20 of Jack Andrews to the inside for this restart. The 33 chose the outside, 34 inside. Jack Little in that number 98, he chose outside. The 30 chose the outside as well. And the 88 of Clayton Funk, he decided to take the inside. And let's go ahead and get this pace car off once more as the field comes back to the green. It's now in the hands of Charlie Hunter in that number 50. And we are green flag racing once again here at Iowa. And that was a very incredible start by both drivers out front. And Rob Franklin looking to take over that race lead coming out of turn number 2. And the 50 goes sideways into the wall as he keeps it up in the wall. What an incredible turn of events here for that 50 of Charlie Hunter as he got loose on these cold tires. As we come back and take a look at the number 77 machine of Charles Keller. He is now up in that number 4 spot. That is very unfortunate right now for Charlie Hunter as he's going to lose a lot of points in this point battle. As you see, we have side-by-side racing going on behind, and they get all that sorted out. And our drivers are now once again single file, ladies and gentlemen. As they come here through turns 1 and 2 once again. The 77 gets up into the wall just a little bit. As you see a good battle going on your screen there. As Little does get out in front. As we take a look here at Charles Keller in that number 77 X-Lax. And here comes Dylan Purrington in that number 34 machine trying to get a run on the inside, but he's unable to make it stick. So he will fall back behind Keller for the time being. As they dive down into turn number 3 once again. Your race leader, Rob Franklin, has now put out a 1 second gap to the number 20 of Jack Andrews. Jack Andrews, he is third in points, looking for a strong finish here to try to make ground on Franklin Franklin and Hunter both. As you see Franklin in that beautiful orange and yellow Goodyear Chevrolet, now almost 2 seconds ahead of the pack as things get settled as they come to start lap 69. Nice and easy here for Rob Franklin. As of right now, I think Franklin's only true competitor for the time being was the number 50 of Charlie Hunter. So let's try to see what we can do as we come back and follow up with the number 77 and the number 34 machine. As they continue to run nose to tail. This is just about your closest battle here on track between the number 33, 77, and 34, respectively. And ultimately, this will be a battle for third when the time comes, as these drivers come shooting out of turn 4 back down to turn number 1. What an incredible battle that is getting ready to be brewed up here. As you see, once again, we have two distinctive lines between these drivers. The 77 of Keller decides to run more towards the middle, where William Brown and Dylan Purrington decide to run the inside. And here comes Keller looking to the outside of the 33 of William Brown, and they touch once, twice, and they get off of each other heading down into turn number 3. But that sends Charles Keller high into the marbles out of turn 4, and that will lose the momentum. But here he comes. He's not giving up that easily as they dive down back into turn number 1. And once again, Keller will go high coming out of the corner. Gets really close to that wall as they now dive back down into turn number 3. That outside line is working for Keller if he can just get it to stick. He held on to that outside for a couple laps there, as you see Dylan Purrington now working on the inside of Keller down this straightaway side by side. Keller still trying to make it work on that outside, but he doesn't want to be off that fresh pavement, and I think that's where he is losing a lot of his momentum, by getting onto the old pavement, because that old pavement will eat up your tires. And so those couple laps, he did tear up his tires just a little bit there, as he goes from 3rd back to 5th, as he's looking to try to make more momentum to get back to the back bumper of the 34 of Dylan Purrington as they dive down into turn 1. This little battle now has settled itself out, and the 77 hits the wall once again coming out of turn 2. That's just going to make his car a lot tighter as this run goes on. And the 34 is now starting to reel in that number 33 of William Brown once again. The 34 wants to work on intimidating that number 33 machine, as we now have a battle for second brewing between these three drivers right here, of Jack Andrews, William Brown, and Dylan Purrington. As you see the 34 slide up the track just a little bit there, coming through turns 3 and 4. He did exactly what Keller was doing, so he needs to keep that in mind. He doesn't want to have a repeat of what happened to Charles Keller, so he needs to keep it down on that inside. As you see the 33 of William Brown closing in that gap ever so slightly to the fast Jack Andrews. Our pair of Australians running second and third as they come flying down this long back straightaway. Jack Andrews is going to need to put some Red Bull energy into that gas tank if he is going to keep the fast charging William Brown behind him. This battle here for second, I believe, is going to get intense when that Hydrographics 33 machine gets right to the back bumper of that Red Bull machine. While we do have this battle going on. Charlie Hunter in that number 50 machine, he is down on pit road, getting service on his machine. And he is back out on track now. As you see, second and third place now, passing that number 50 machine. And we're about to see how good those fresh tires are on these race cars. So even though that 50 is fast of Charlie Hunter, he doesn't want to run hard to burn up those fresh Goodyear tires, as it still is a long way to go to catch the leader. And we have the 20 coming down pit to the inside as he makes his way down to pit road. Is this some green flag pit stops with 90 laps to go? As you saw Jack Andrews dive down quickly down pit road. And the 33 is okay, staying out. Looks like he did slow down, but he continued to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Franklin is now out to a 8-second lead on your second place of William Brown. Rob Franklin was absolutely dominant here early on in this race, as we have 88 laps remaining. He is putting on a show for you guys here. And we have more drivers coming down pit road. We are only showing 4 cars now on the lead lap of Rob Franklin, William Brown, Dylan Purrington, and Charles Keller still waiting to come down pit road to make their green flag pit stop. I believe this will open up the fuel window to make it so that they can go on one more pit stop. So that's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out, as Franklin, Brown, Purrington, and Keller continue to stay out on track. Will the fresher tires near the end of this run be able to be more dominant at the closing laps versus, Jack Andrews and Charlie Hunter as they came down pit road to get service on their machines? But right now, only time will tell as we continue to watch Rob Franklin in that green, yellow John Deere paint scheme. And here comes the number 50 of Charlie Hunter, coming back to get one of his laps back after making his green flag pit stop. And that just right there shows you, ladies and gentlemen, how well the new tires are compared to these older tires. And you see now the number 20 getting ready to get one of his laps back of Jack Andrews as he dives down to the inside of race leader Rob Franklin. And looks like Clinton Funk made his way back down pit road. Ryan Graves, he's back down on pit road as well. As we continue to watch Rob Franklin just turn laps, he is in cruise control for the time being, ladies and gentlemen. And let's jump back here to the number 34 of Dylan Purrington, as this battle for third is starting to brew, as Charles Keller is now trying to get right to the back bumper of Purrington. The last couple of laps, that increment between the two, just like that, has been getting smaller and smaller. And here comes the 77 of Charles Keller, And the 34 takes it way wide in turns 3 and 4, and that allows Keller to pull away with no issues whatsoever. And now Purrington now has to go back into offense mode and try to reel in that number 77 once more of Charles Keller Jr. I believe it looks like Purrington, he's starting to get a little bit tight because he keeps making his way up towards the old pavement as he pushes a little bit here through the corners. And this time he was able to make it stick, but he was a little bit slower. So I think his tires might be getting shot. And so he may be thinking about coming down to pit road possibly here in the next few laps as the 77 of Charles Keller continues to pull away. As we jump back up here to our race leader, Rob Franklin, in that number 4 John Deere Chevy Camaro. As you see, the 88 bounced off the wall a little bit there out of turn 2. He's got fresher tires, so he's got to take it easy getting around this race leader. And Rob Franklin should just pull up and let him by, so that there's no possibility of having issues as he allows Funk to go around the outside in turns 1 and 2. Things have now really settled down as we come to 75 laps to go this time by. And then coming around to 74 to go. We are now just about that halfway point in the race. Rob Franklin out front by just about 10 seconds, followed by William Brown in that number 33 machine. And we have a caution once again. It looks like the 88 possibly got up into the outside wall. And that might have been enough for officials to throw that yellow flag. With just about 73 laps remaining here. Clinton Funk in that number 88 machine struggling here today at Iowa. As we catch back up here with our race leader, who's looking to come back down pit road and get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagle tires and some Sunoco race fuel. As you see that big gap he has right there. As we come back here and catch up with the 50 of Charlie Hunter, who will get the wave by, I believe, this time. Yep, he will get the wave by, but that just means he actually might be the lucky dog, and that will allow Jack Andrews to get the wave by here as well. They will get the 2-to-go signal this time from our flagman Barney up in the flag stand. And with that being said, yep, that will put Charlie Hunter and Jack Andrews back on the lead lap as you see both of these drivers get the wave by. We are going to have just about 69 laps to go when we get the green flag once again. And it looks like Rob Franklin will take the inside, and that will put William Brown to his outside. Dylan Purrington in that number 34 chose the inside, with Charles Keller choosing the outside. Jake Little chooses inside. Charlie Hunter outside. Jack Andrews, he did end up making a pit stop here. Ryan Graves in that number 30 machine, he will go to the outside as well, right in front of the number 50 of Charlie Hunter. And Clinton Funk, he will also choose the outside, along with Jake Little in that that General Motors Chevrolet. And we are green flag racing here once again at Iowa. As you see these drivers dive down into turn number 1 and 2. And we have a great battle currently between William Brown and Dylan Purrington for that second spot. William Brown currently has it. Purrington wants it. He sticks his nose to the inside of William Brown, but Brown just has that better run out of the corner on the outside, as you see Charles Keller getting passed by that number of the 30 machine. He is lapped out at the moment. Oh, the 88 in the wall once again, but we are going to stay focused right here on our top 3 here, as you see William Brown now holding strong to that second spot. But here comes the 34 of Dylan Purrington once again, closing that gap. He has to ride a little bit smoother as he pushes through turns 3 and 4, and that allows Brown to pull a couple tenths away from him. But we are seeing exactly here what we were seeing earlier with Rob Franklin and Charlie Hunter. We have the 34 so strong on entry, but the 33 is able to turn around on the exit and just regain that time that he lost on entry. So we are just seeing a yo-yo effect between these drivers. The 33 is absolutely saving his tires for the moment, getting down into these corners, and the 34 is pulling a little bit harder into the corners to try to get around the 33. This time he's looking on the inside and down into turn number 1. He gets to the inside, and they will run side by side out of turn number 2. The 33 has it, the 34 wants it. They go down into turn 3 once more as they run side by side. The 33 has the momentum out of turn 4, and he will continue to hold on to that second spot for the time being. And they come through turns 1 and 2 once again. The 33 holds that momentum, and that just causes Dylan Purrington have to get back behind William Brown in that 33 machine. And the guy that's loving this the most is Rob Franklin, as he gets to pull away a little bit as these two battle it out here for the second spot. The 34 goes in the deep, probably touched the 33 just a little bit as they went through turns 1 and 2. The 34 of Purrington is not giving up on that second spot. He wants it from Brown, and here he comes once again. as they dive down into turn number 1. Purrington is trying to take that spot from the 33 of William Brown, and William Brown gets into the wall just a little bit, but he's able to keep the momentum going as he exited turn 2. And here comes Purrington once again. He looks to the inside, cross start finish line, and he will have a better run down into turn 1 than he did last time. And this will make it so that the 33, he will pull back out in front. The 34 just had too much momentum heading down into turn number 1, and that allowed the 33 to have the momentum coming out and keep that second spot from Purrington. This is a great battle right here for our second spot with only 59 laps to go in this 175 lap race, as these drivers are doing everything they can, getting the best. And the 34 slides up the track and he has to slow down, and that will allow Brown to continue to pull away a little bit more from Purrington. He is absolutely loving this as Purrington continues to try to regain ground on Brown. But in the background, we have that 77 of Charles Keller just cruising behind and stalking his prey. He is hoping something goes wrong between these two cars in front of him so he can pounce and get up into that second spot, but he keeps hitting that wall coming out of turn 2, and that's just going to make his car keep getting tighter and tighter. He's got to be easy on corner exit, because if he hits the wall too hard in that number 77 X-Lax machine, he could break a toe link in that machine, and that will just push him out towards the outside wall much quicker than he wants. So he's got to be really careful with that on exit, especially if he wants to get past these two drivers in front of him for a second. As you see Purrington back to that back bumper of Brown as they come down into turn 1. This is a great battle, guys, right here for that second spot. Brown trying to give it all he's got. He gains it in entry, loses it on exit, just as you see here. He was on the back bumper at the apex of turn 3 and 4, but the 33 of Brown, he just has that much more better momentum out of the corner, because he's not driving it in as deep as Brown is, and that's why Brown is able to keep that momentum going out of the corner. And don't look now, here comes Keller starting to get on the back bumper of Purrington. We are now got a 3-car battle for second. Now the question is, was Keller saving tires this whole time? Or does he have enough tire as he runs high through turns 3 and 4 and loses a little bit of time there, as you continue to see? And we have a caution, and it looks like it is for Ryan Graves in that number 30 machine. Let's go back and take a look in that number 30 machine of Ryan Graves as he enters turn number 1, runs through the corner, and then gets into the wall coming out, and that was just enough to give him more contact as something breaks on his car, and he comes down right in front of, I believe that was Charlie Hunter that he almost got into there. That is very unfortunate there for the number 30 of Ryan Graves, as he broke, it looked like, possible toe link after making hard contact with that outside wall. As you see the field once again coming down onto pit road, and they're going to get some more Goodyear tires and Sunoco race fuel to get them to the end of this race. We have just 50 more laps remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to be the first one out? And it looks like the 34 missed his pit stall, so that's going to be huge for the 34 of Dylan Purrington, as he now fall back to 7th on this pit stall. Purrington went from 3rd all the way to 7th by missing his pit stall there, and had to back up and readjust. 2 to go this time by. We will get to choose next lap. So when we go back green, we are going to have 47 laps left in this event, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like the 98. Oh, Jake Little, the number 98, he is back on the lead lap. And I am showing him in first for the moment. He came down with everybody else. But he is now sitting out front. As the drivers now come out of turn number 4 to get the 1 to go signal. And our race leader is going to choose the outside, and Rob Franklin will choose the inside. 33 outside, 77 inside. The number 20 goes to the outside as well. As we have a new race leader, Jake Little, in that number 98 General Motors Chevrolet. Can he hold off the 2 Chevrolets behind him of Rob Franklin and Charles Keller, and that Ford Mustang of William Brown? We're going to find out here as the pace car is about to pull off, and this will be put into the hands of Jake Little. Here they come out of turn number 4, kind of down to a little crawl here as they pick up the pace just a little bit, and we are back green here at Iowa Speedway. Franklin still holding on strong to the inside there, and he's going to make really quick work, and we have trouble. The Little hard into the wall. The 33 of William Brown hard into the wall as well. What unfortunate turn of events that just happened here on this restart. Jake Little gets loose going through turns 1 and 2 on those cold Goodyear tires, and he ended up collecting the number 33 of William Brown. So William Brown now, he is going from 3rd all the way back to that 6th spot. And on that restart, Dylan Purrington went from 7th all the way up to 3rd. That is absolutely incredible on how quick things will change here at Iowa on these race restarts. William Brown brings his number 33 machine down onto pit road to get service, along with the number 50 of Charlie Hunter. And that will put Charles Keller in that number 77 X-Lax machine behind the John Deere machine. As we have Jake Little, Charlie Hunter, William Brown still down on pit road. As of right now, we have one driver that has packed it up and put it in the hauler and that would be that number 30 machine of Ryan Graves. He has now called it quits for this event. As we get that 2 to go signal once again, so when we go back we will have just about 42 laps remaining. The inside line worked the best for Rob Franklin last time, so it's going to be interesting to see where Keller goes in that number 77, as you don't want to give up that momentum on the outside, but you also want to have that opportunity as you dive down into turn 1 to try to take the race lead from Rob Franklin as they come out of turn number 4 once again. And it looks like Franklin will choose the inside, the 77 to the outside, 34 inside, the 20 outside, and then Charlie Hunter in that number 50 machine will choose the inside. And Jake Little in that number 98 machine, he will choose the outside right behind that number 20 of Jack Andrews. Jack Andrews, he has been having an up and down day in that number 20 Red Bull machine. He has not had much luck this evening here at Iowa. He is looking to be able to turn it around as we come to get 42 to go and the green flag. It is once again in the hands of Rob Franklin in that John Deere machine. The 77 on the outside, and the Franklin gets a really good jump there on that restart, and he quickly pulls out to a half-second lead as you have these cars back behind him battling it out for that second, third, fourth, and fifth spot as they dive down into turn number 3. And you see the 34 of Purrington working the inside of the number 20 of Jack Andrews. As you see here, them continue to run side by side, and that 50 machine is thinking about trying to make it 3 wide back behind them for that third spot as they continue to run side by side here out of turn number 4. They still running side by side. The 20 is looking to get down to the inside of the 77, and he kind of just makes room for himself as he pulls down in front of the 34 machine. And here comes the number 50 of Charlie Hunter coming around the outside. But here he comes, the 20 machine getting a good run, and that will bring him up into that third spot. The 34 of Dylan Purrington continues to drop as they exit turn number 2. And here comes that 50 also looking to make it happen. The 34 very strong on entry, slow on exit, and once again that allows the 20 to get around him, and he has to let up a little bit so he doesn't get into the back bumper of the 20 machine of Jack Andrews, and that allows the 50 of Charlie Hunter to get around him as well. And now Charlie Hunter in that number 50 machine sets his eyes on Jack Andrews. He said, "Let me through," as they dive down into turn number 1 and 2. This field is not letting Rob Franklin get away this time, as you can still throw just about a blanket over the top 5-6 drivers here, as you see Charlie Hunter looking to get to the inside of Jack Andrews, and that's just not going to happen just yet. Hunter is now hunting the 20 and that Red Bull as they just dives it down into turn 3, and he's just trying to praying to make it stick What an incredible move by that number 50 machine of Charlie Hunter, making his way back towards the front of this field as he taps the wall on exit as he starts to pull away from Jack Andrews and that number 20 Red Bull machine. Charlie Hunter showing what that WNBA Toyota Camry can do here at Iowa, as he quickly made work of Jack Andrews, and now he has his eyes set on Charles Keller and that number 77 X-Lax Chevrolet machine for that second spot. 33 laps remaining this time by, as the field once again comes through turns 1 and 2 ever so slowly. Hunter is reeling in the number 77 of Keller, foot by foot, yard by yard. Here he comes, Keller. Watch out, as Hunter thinks about making that dive bomb once again down into a corner. And he's going to get a lot of momentum here coming out of turn 2, back down into turn number 3. But he's going to hold it off as Keller does slide up the track, and that opens the door for Hunter to get a run out of turn number 4 across the start-finish line. And that will place Hunter in P2, but they're still side by side for that second spot. Hunter wants it, but Keller is not ready to give it up just yet. He is going to make Hunter work, but Hunter makes quick work of it as they dive back down into turn number 3 as Keller slides up the track a little bit. One more spot to go for Charlie Hunter in that number 50 WNBA machine. The current separation between the two is 1.3 seconds, and he is slowly but surely making that number go down. He is giving it all he's got. We are now just under 30 laps remaining in this event. Is he going to have enough time to get back to that back bumper of Rob Franklin? As Rob Franklin puts a little bit of distance on Hunter this past lap. He's gotten just about a tenth faster. Hunter needs to slow down, let his tires cool off if he is wanting to attack in the closing laps here. Franklin is trying to extend his points lead. And once again, your 2 points leaders are out front, duking it out once again. Franklin is slowly pulling away. His separation between the two now sits at just about 1.5 seconds. Franklin just rotates through the corner so much better than Hunter, as you can watch that interval change so much in the middle of the corner on exit. He just gets such a better run through the corners, as you see that number playing yo-yo between 1.3 to 1.5 second separation between the two. 24 laps remaining for your race leader, Rob Franklin. How is it going to turn out? Is he going to be able to keep Charlie Hunter behind him? Or will Charlie Hunter be able to work his way back and get some of that time that he's lost the last few laps? That last lap time, Charlie Hunter was 0.033 seconds slower than Rob Franklin. So that is not what Charlie Hunter wants to see, is his lap times being slower than Rob Franklin. as Rob Franklin crosses the start finish line here once again. This is absolutely something that you don't want to see. And Charlie Hunter was faster this last lap by 0.003. Still not enough to make up what he lost the last 2 laps. As you see the field, or see Franklin come across start finish line once again. And that time, the separation between the two was 0.03. That's the separation between the lap times. 20 laps to go this time by. Hunter is running out of laps. He has got to do something. He's got to pull something out of the hat if he wants to get to the rear bumper of Rob Franklin and not allow Rob Franklin just to continue to pull away like he has for the back part of this race. This field pretty much strung out. Rob Franklin in that John Deere Chevrolet continues to run just about the same lap time, but last lap Charlie Hunter was just about a 10th faster, so that gap is slowly coming back in favor of Hunter, but I don't think he's going to have enough time, as he's got company from the number 88 machine, which is absolutely going to tear up this race lead and race battle. The 50 of Charlie Hunter just needs to let the 88 of Clinton Funk go by and just allow him to continue to drive by. And he could say missile away depending on how quick Clinton Funk is. This could be a total game changer right here, depending on how much Clinton Funk is going to play a role into slowing down your race leader of Rob Franklin as they roll through the corners. 15 laps to go. Time is ticking away as we come back to our race leader of Rob Franklin. Just in that amount of time, Rob Franklin lost just about another half a second because of that number 88 machine. He wasted a lot of time allowing him to get by him. But here comes the 88 now reeling in the number 4. Let's see how quick the number 4 will allow the 88 just to go by, as he is on much fresher tires than the rest of the field. As they are coming up on the lap car, the number 33 of William Brown, that's going to slow up Franklin just a little bit there as well, as they come through turns 3 and 4. And the 88 quickly makes work of William Brown in that number 33 machine as well. 2 second, almost 2.5 second difference between first and second here in the closing laps. 10 laps to go this time by for your race leader of Rob Franklin in that number 4 John Deere Chevrolet. I don't believe that the 88 is going to be much of an issue for our race leader, as last time by the 88 hit the wall pretty hard coming out of turn number 2. So I don't think we're going to have too much issues there. As they come through 1 and 2 and on exit. That right there is the separation between your two race leaders, with that 1 lap down car in between the two. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think Charlie Hunter is going to have enough time here in the closing laps to be able to do anything with your race leader. And all Franklin is seeing at this moment is the money signs, looking for those points to extend his points lead on the number 50 of Charlie Hunter. So it's a good points day for both of these drivers. However, with Franklin adding another check to his win column, that's just going to pull him further out into the points lead, as the number 50 works his way back around the number 88 machine. A 5 laps to go this time by for your race leader, Rob Franklin. He is now out to just about a 2.1 second gap to second place, Charlie Hunter. Rob Franklin has this one in the books. As long as he stays nice and smooth, he has a 2-second gap to play with if he needs it. So he can relax a little bit, but he doesn't want to relax too much. But there's not enough time left here to allow Charlie Hunter to get to the back bumper. 3 laps to go this time by, ladies and gentlemen. 2-second gap between your race leaders. More corners remaining for Rob Franklin as he gets the 2-to-go signal from your race flagman. 3 more corners left for Rob Franklin as he comes down the back straightaway down into turn number 3 and 4. And the white flag is in the air for your race leader, Rob Franklin. 0.88 miles left for your points leader. Nice and easy through 1 and 2. Beautiful exit out of turn 2. Slow and steady does it here for that John Deere machine number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, round 23 winner, Rob Franklin in that number 4 John Deere Chevrolet. And he will win here at Iowa Speedway. What an incredible race we have had here today, ladies and gentlemen. Even though we had only 9 cars out here on track, they put up an amazing show for you guys. Wow. Rob Franklin dominates here at Iowa. Charlie Hunter brings it home second after having a disappointing situation happen just a little bit after the halfway point, as Rob Franklin now does his burnouts here on the front straightaway over that ear of corn. That is the start-finish line. What an incredible day it is for that number 4 race team. And just how convenient it is that it's a John Deere doing a burnout on a crop. I think that's just absolutely awesome as he does his Polish victory lap, doing a burnout going backwards on track. And we'll just spin it out here once again. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at our final results for this evening. Rob Franklin in that number 4 machine will bring it home first. Hard charging Charlie Hunter will come back after falling all the way back to that 7th spot and come back up to that second position. Charles Keller was quietly hanging around the top 5, and he'll bring it home third. Dylan Purrington hung out also in the top 3 for most of the day, but he fell back to that 4th spot. Good day for him for points. Jack Andrews in that number 20 machine will bring it home in 5th. Jake Little in that number 98 machine will bring it home 6th. William Brown in the number 33 machine will bring it home 7th. Clinton Funk in that number 88 machine will bring it home 8th. And rounding out your field will be Ryan Graves in that number 30 Toyota. And ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for us here for the P2 Racing League Cup Series. We want to give a big shout out to our camera operator, Tim Burns, doing a fabulous job on cameras for us today. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike Taylor with P2 TV. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on P2 TV. Happy time zones.
Till I collapse, I've been moving too fast. Got my foot up on the gas, full throttle till I crash. I'm back with a vengeance. You gon' see me end this. I will be ascending. I don't ever slack. I got my eyes on a prize. What I see for my life, I don't float, no I fly. Do or die, cause you gotta do or die. There ain't no compromise. Get ready for a fight.
Do you wanna see what you're made of? What if there was no one to save us? Would you leave it all on the pavement? Would you dive the ground with some straight blood? I just wanna find out my limits. I'ma put everything in it. I'm in this life to win it, and this is just the beginning.
Do you want it bad? Do you want it bad? Do you want it bad? I'll fight till I collapse. I'll fight till I collapse. I'll fight till I collapse. My energy is unmatched. I don't get tired, no I don't get gas. I'm back, still working to surpass. Everybody getting past, on my way up fast. No slap, so watch out for me now. Everybody in this town will be looking at my crown. I got my knuckles all wrapped, blood drips from the scabs, bloody fists from the jabs.
Do you wanna see what you're made of? What if there was no one to save us? Would you leave it all on the pavement? Would you dive the ground with some straight blood? I just wanna find out my limits. I'ma put everything in it. I'm in this life to win it, and this is just the beginning.